If you guys are sick of wasting money on packs, go check out my sponsor. They offer the cheapest and most reliable way to buy coins straight from the source. Use code MAZE at checkout for 15% off your entire order.
So EA finally released a long-awaited patch today for Madden 22. This is the first big patch of the year, I believe, because the original patch only really touched Cover 3 and didn't really address any of the big issues that people had with the game. So this patch was probably the biggest of the year so far. And I will say there's still a lot of stuff that wasn't even addressed in the patch notes or the stream, and that I do hope they touch in the future. But in this video, I'm going to be going over the patch notes, what they said they touched. I'm going to be showing you guys some community reaction on Twitter and other stuff I found. And then, of course, I'll be giving you guys my opinion on the patch and what I think about it and what I still think they need to do moving forward. Also, feel free to leave your comments in the patch down below because I know there's probably a lot of stuff that you guys are running into online that I didn't come across. So it is always interesting to hear from you guys as well. And of course, boys, as always, before we get into the video, we're going to go over the best and the worst comment of the day. The best comment coming from Just Jacob, who said, "Very entertaining video. I really enjoyed this. You're easily my favorite Madden YouTuber. I like how you break the plays down. Thanks." You're welcome, Jacob. And the worst comment of the day coming from Justin Price, who said, "Not gonna lie, I was enjoying watching the Saints team spread your cheeks in the first 3 quarters. GG to you for the last interception." I bet you did like that, Justin. So here we are on EA's official website, and as you guys can see, October 12th, which is today, is the title update. Latest update delivers gameplay tuning and improved NFL authenticity. Now, I'll tell you guys one thing. One, I don't give a flying fuck about the NFL authenticity, so we are just going to be focusing on the gameplay tuning because that's just not really like something that I'm interested in. But one thing I do know for sure is that they did make a big change to franchise, and I have personally never played franchise before, but I'm planning on starting a CFM, and that'll be a series on the channel. So these franchise changes, even though I've always made fun of franchise in the past, are actually going to be relevant to me and us on this channel. So we're actually going to read into that. So let's start at the top, man. Hey, Madden fans. First of all, thank you for playing Madden NFL 22. Fuck you, EA. We feel your excitement each year and blah, 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 blah. Below is a detailed breakdown of what's included in today's title update. So we're starting on the next gen stuff. Key highlight, new scouting feature in franchise mode. That's the big thing I was talking about. I know people have been waiting for that scouting feature for quite a while because it's been kind of anticipated. They've been telling you it's going to be dropping, and it is changing a lot in franchise mode. So it finally dropped today, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to check that out. Ranked mode in the yard. I don't care. Gameplay abilities, tuning, and updated pass coverage. That is where I am going to be spending a majority of the time talking. And then the authenticity updates. So to start with the authenticity stuff, it's like, you know, just gear and stuff, new likeness. They basically got better face scans for all those players. Very, very cool, EA. Now, gameplay update. This is the big stuff that's going to affect us. The main thing are they added abilities. They changed AP on existing abilities. And then they also tuned pass coverage, which is something we've been talking about for a while. So to start, let's talk about the new abilities. There is a runoff elite, on the ball, precision kicker, crusher, demoralizer, and mind reader, which is an X factor. So runoff elite and on the ball are actually abilities that kind of tie in together. Runoff elite is for wide receivers, and it basically makes them run off the ball on run plays better, which is weird because you wouldn't think there'd be an ability for that. And then on the ball is making the defenders who are covering them less likely to be fooled by the wide receiver runoff. So I don't know if runoffs were already a thing in Madden because I do know against man coverage, sometimes that does happen where your wide receiver will run off and then the DB will follow. But I don't know if it was happening every time or if you need this ability to make it work. But that is pretty cool. It's kind of like a run blocking ability. And so I'm not really sure how effective it's going to be. But as we hop into the game, I'm sure we will figure out. If you guys have already used these abilities, I don't know if anybody has. But let me know in the comments down below. Precision kicker. Kickers with this ability can see the entirety of the kicking arc. Kicking isn't hard as it is, so that's kind of a worthless ability. Crusher. Defenders with this ability will cause heavy fatigue penalties when tackling ball carrier with a hit stick tackle. So Crusher sounds a lot like Deflator, because I'm pretty sure that's the exact same as Deflator. What's the difference? It says defenders with this ability will cause heavy fatigue penalties when tackling a ball carrier with a hit stick. Is that not Deflator? Then Demoralizer. Defenders with this ability will clear a ball carrier's progress towards entering the zone with a hit stick tackle. Now, I got to say, so far in Madden 22, in the zone and X factors have not been a big deal at all. I think I can count on one hand how many times people have activated an effective X factor on me. I don't even know if it's happened this year. Like most of the time they just get bazooka on their quarterback or something. I don't think double me works on receivers anymore. So Demoralizer is a worthless ability. I don't think anybody should use that. Crusher, I'm pretty sure is like 4 AP. So maybe it's just like it's a deflator on steroids. That's what I would have to think. Crusher is deflator on steroids. So again, don't really know if it's going to be worth 4 AP. But then the X factor they added is called Mind Reader. When activated, defenders can see offensive play art via Coach Cam. That's interesting. This powerful X factor ability can only activate once the defensive player possessing the ability gets in the zone by landing 3 successful hit sticks on a simulation or arcade, or 5 successful hit sticks on competitive. So basically, if you're playing competitive game mode, which is what online is, it's going to be 5 hit sticks to get this activated. You'll be able to view your opponent's play art when you bring up Coach Cam. To knock the player out of the zone, you'll need to gain 30 yards on offense. So very similar to other X factors where to get him out of the zone, you do need 30 yards. And this seems to me like the defensive version of Omaha. I think this is going to be replacing Film Study, because Film Study last year they added into the game was supposed to be able to let you see your opponent's play art if they ran the same play 3 times in a row or 5 times in a quarter. I don't really remember what it was. But Mind Reader, I think they moved that ability to X Factor now, and it's supposed to be like a defensive Omaha. That makes a lot of sense. Now for pass coverage, this is going to be the most important thing. And then on top of this, there's other stuff that they added in the patch that they didn't actually mention in here. So I'll talk about those as well. But first, let's start talking about the pass coverage. So first, for hook zones, fix an issue causing the mid-read defender in Tampa 2 to drift the wrong direction for his trips. I never really ran a mid-read in Tampa 2. Usually that mid-read defender was my user, so this didn't really affect me at all. But I guess mid-reads play better now. Doesn't really matter to me too much. Curl flat zones improved curl flat zone logic, so they prioritize outbreaking routes instead of shading under verticals. Also improves some logic so curl flats and quarter flats won't chuck outbreaking routes that were causing them to give up leverage they had to cover the sideline. This, if working well, is going to be, I think, huge, because that has been something that has frustrated me and everybody in the community for a very long time. Curl flats just playing way too far inside, totally leaving their assignment. And I do understand curl flats are going to play further inside than any type of blue flat zone, but curl flats should not be playing as far inside as they were. There were certain routes and route combos where it would just totally glitch out the curl flat and make them go dumb. So I'm hoping this fixes curl flats, because that's been a big problem in the game. I'm happy they included that. Flat zones. So these are any blue flat zones. First, improved cloud flat zone logic to better carry vertical routes to protect the fade and improve their facing direction immediately following the chuck, which is just a press. So basically, if you are running a stock cloud flat, I guess there's an issue where they would press the receiver and then, again, just kind of glitch out and go dumb, probably allowing you to throw a quick pass to the sideline against cover 2. So I'm assuming now stock cloud flats are going to play better. I don't think this is really going to affect zone dropped cloud flats, which is pretty much what I run exclusively, because in a zone dropped cloud flat, they don't even chuck in the, or press in the first place. So this seems to only apply to cloud flats that are stock. Also fixed soft squat defenders to better shade receivers in the flat. Don't know what that means. Does that mean they're going to play underneath better? Shade receivers. Shade in which direction? I don't really know what that means. Is it just saying that your shading is going to reflect more on the zone? So if you shade underneath, or if you shade underneath, it becomes a hard flat. If you shade outside or inside, maybe it's going to play better or play more accurately to what you shaded. I think that would make sense. And the final one is the big one. Fixed an issue preventing hard flat defenders from covering inside receivers and tight ends in bunch. Fuck you, bunch users. And close formations running flat routes and the flat portion of wheel routes. So this is the issue that we've been facing since the beginning of the year, where I'm sure, as we all know, against bunch, especially against the play double post where that tight end route was not covered by hard flats. You would literally throw that quick wheel route against anything other than a 0-yard flat. So it's good to see they touched that. It's good to see they fixed it. It is a couple months too late, but it's good. Hey, better late than never. In the final section for the pass coverage part is man coverage alignment and matchups. Improved man defender motion logic, so man defenders will properly follow and align when the receiver motions across formation when the AI team is using the cornerback matchups. So I think this is probably fixing a glitch where in your coach settings, you change your cornerback matchups to something like by speed or by overall or by height or whatever it may be. So maybe this is going to help a glitch that was involved with man switching, because I have seen a little bit of man switching online. I'm not really sure what was causing it, but this might fix that. Also, they fixed an issue causing man coverage assignments to incorrectly swap when the offense motioned a receiver across formation. So no, the second part, this is fixing man switching. This is, I don't know what this is fixing. Maybe this is just saying when you have your coach settings, coach adjustments, geez, I couldn't think of the word, coach adjustments set for the cornerback matchups, whether it's by speed, by overall, whatever it may be. Instead of them trading assignment, maybe this guy is going to now follow the receiver. So these cornerback matchups might actually be very good, because something that pisses me off is when they motion and then your guy like trades him off to someone else. And it's like, no, just motion across with him. It messes everything up. So I'm actually thinking this could be big. This could be really good. Moving on to more general fixes. There's dynamic game day fixes, which is part of the momentum features and stuff like that. So first, there's an issue with the Colts home field advantage failing. It was like a run pass tell. They fixed that. I don't play reg, so I didn't know that. Tuning the adrenaline M factor. So instead of infinite stamina, it now reduces the rate of stamina drain. So that's interesting. I didn't even know that that was a glitch. Fixed an issue causing a logo to appear over players' heads instead of a question mark for certain M factors. And then fix an issue causing the shook play art to remain on the field after the snap. That is the big one, because that shook play art thing, which basically is the squiggly lines glitch, they're saying they fixed. Now, they also said they fixed this in the last patch. So I'm not going to jump the gun and say that it's fixed, because I don't know yet, but I'm happy they're addressing it. I really am. For play art, they fixed an issue causing the wide receiver icons to stay visible after making a defensive adjustment. I've noticed that. I'm happy they fixed that. Fixed an issue preventing the art from updating to the correct route after making a hot route on the running back and setting him in motion. I never noticed that. Fixed an issue causing the play art to sometimes disappear on a defender when hot routing a defender to blitz while inside the tackle box. So I have noticed that quite often, at least one of my defenders on the field loses the play art of his assignment. So I can't see what he's doing. And it might have to do with the fact that I'm blitzing someone else in the box. Like if I blitz my user, is that causing that? Maybe. I don't know. If that's the issue they fixed, I'm happy they fixed it. I hope they did fix it. And then they added scaling to play art inside of the yard. I don't care. QB contain. This was a big one. Tuning to QB contain behavior so contained defenders will get more depth off the snap. Basically saying QB contains will contain harder. And then tuning to open up disengage angles to allow contained defenders to anticipate better getting off blocks to more quickly react to QBs dropping back too far behind the line of scrimmage. So I've actually seen from somebody at EA, they tweeted out a very, very clear-cut example of this. So I'm actually going to show you guys a QB contain. I'm not going to say anything about it right now, but I'll show you an actual video going over that. For tackling, fixed rare issue preventing a QB slide from being ruled down. Okay, fixed an issue that could allow a defender to warp off the ground from a diving tackle into a standing wrap tackle. Those seem like more rare glitches, not big changes really there, just fixing a few small things. Now, the general fixes right here. Fix a blocking issue preventing the blocking running back from picking up an edge rusher versus nickel 3-3-5 wide flipped. That is awesome. That is super, super cool because I'm sick of my running back dumbing out against 3-3-5 wide. Address an issue where QBs would be able to scramble deep in the offensive backfield at full speed until they found an angle to get around pass rushers. So basically another thing kind of tying off the QB contain thing. This is an effort, it seems, in this patch to decrease how often QBs can just kind of run circles around the defense back there. I think this is really cool. The dev note on this is QBs will start to fatigue faster and slow down when trying to scramble 15-plus yards behind the line of scrimmage. This reflects the realistic amount of effort and energy lost QBs suffer in real life when scrambling so deep in the offensive backfield. So I don't know if this is 15-plus yards, like, in depth behind the line of scrimmage, or it's 15 yards of total distance behind the line of scrimmage. I don't know, but basically I've seen some feedback on this. Again, we'll go over this when we check out some tweets and stuff like that from the community. But I have heard that the stamina portion of this is a bit overkill. I think I'm actually probably going to be passing in the pocket for the most part after a lot of these changes. So I'm actually not too upset if that. I mean, I got sick of getting circles ran around my defense from Daniel Jones, Cam Newton, Michael Vick, Josh Allen, even Zach Wilson, even sometimes Dan Marino. I'm happy that they're making these changes, honestly. Fix an issue causing players to sometimes start the second half of the game extremely fatigued. Good fix right there. Fix an issue causing the user-controlled player to get stuck running on touchbacks during kickoffs. I think I've seen that. I'm not really sure. Fix an issue causing sideline characters sometimes to warp or pop randomly. Okay. Fix an issue around the Deadeye abilities triggering in the wrong situation. Inside Deadeye was not only triggering on passes to targets inside the numbers, but targets outside the numbers as well. So you mean every single fucking pass is what you mean, EA, because it's been going on for 2 years now. So I'm glad you guys finally caught on. But Inside Deadeye is now fixed and hopefully working the way it's supposed to. It also got decreased from 5 AP to 2 AP. Fixed a rare. Actually, before I move on from that, also roaming Deadeye got upgraded from 1 AP to 2 AP because there is the roaming Deadeye glitch where you can let go of trigger right before you throw. You do get a throw on the run, but it triggers as a Deadeye throw. So roaming Deadeye also got upped in AP. Fixed a rare issue that could result in an offensive pass interference penalty to be called after a defender would hit stick a receiver while running his route. So there's been a lot of illegal touching and pass interference lately. I'm hoping that's what this fix is referring to. I feel like sometimes those penalties were pretty BS, so I'm happy they actually addressed that because those penalties were giving people first downs in undeserved situations. So that's a good fix if that's what it's referring to. Tuning to inaccurate passes to make passes more inaccurate when the QB is scrambled up to 15 yards or more behind the line of scrimmage. So again, this is just, again, to try to minimize QB scrambling behind the line. Fixed a rare issue that could result in the referee saying a call had been reversed via challenge, even though the play result had not been reversed. Okay, that's just another little glitch. So overall, and again, we're not done talking about this, but the gameplay updates that they're saying they put in the game, I'm very happy with. And if they did fix everything that they said they did, that is awesome. But I do not want to make it sound like I'm saying this is a good patch right now, because as we get into the community feedback and things I'm going to show you, there are a million more worse issues after this patch, and not things that were in the game before. So things that this patch actually broke within the game are now showing up. And so I'm going to be showing you guys some of those things here in a minute. Before we get into that, I'm just going to go over quickly the franchise updates. So there's a new scouting update available. So if you want, you can go check out the scouting update on the deep dive Gridiron Notes. I'm not going to do that. But if you are a franchise guy, just know that you can go check that out over there. Tune the logic for the MVP. Okay, actually, I'm not going to go over this. I thought I could. I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry, boys. I can't go over franchise right now. So to start, here's another thing that they did not announce in the patch notes, and they changed tight end streaks. Tight end streaks, as you can see in the picture here, no longer are just regular straight lines. They're now like almost like little fades, like you know those unbumpable fade routes from receivers. Kind of what they look like. And it basically, how it plays is it takes a little bit longer to get off the line, and it basically just delays the streak like a split second. The reason they did this, I already know, is because I think people were complaining that tight end seam streaks quickly thrown were a little bit too overpowered, especially because users and acceleration is so slow. It did not give defenders a chance to really react and make a play on the ball. That's why they also tuned the mid reads. I think both of these changes are just an attempt to make tight end streaks slower and less effective. So I don't really think this is a good thing. It's kind of stupid to me, but hey, not that big of a deal. Another tweet right here from Joker Kale, who is a competitive player in the community. He said, they patched bunch guys, happens 95% of the time when you block your tight end. So taking a look at the video here.
So bad. It
So
did
his
it again.
His shit's frozen. His play is frozen, and better quality now.
Someone please clip this and send it to me so I can say EA patched bunch.
EA
please.
patched bunch, shit. But he's not wrong, because I've been reading this from all over the community, in bunch especially, but in any formation, if you're doing a lot of hot routes, and especially anytime you're making adjustments to your tight end, whether you block him or put him on a different adjustment, sometimes it like freezes. I don't really know. The whole play freezes. You can't hike the ball. You can't do anything. You take a delay of game. I've actually seen a lot of people saying that they have been kicked from games for excessive griefing, meaning they got the L because this happened so many times in the game. More than 5 times in a game, I think, if you delay a game, you get kicked. So if that's happening that frequently, that is definitely a problem that's going to need an emergency patch. No excuses. I don't know how that made it out of testing. Reading through the replies right here, Vose, who's another streamer, said, this shit don't happen. It's not because you block your tight end. Got to be another bug. Joker Kale said, nah, at the time I thought that's what it was, but it's any hot route with a slot player, I believe. So I don't really know if that's true or not. I don't know if we've gotten to the bottom of what's causing it, but just know when you're online, especially in bunch, sometimes that's going to happen to you. Kiv, who is another pro player, actually replied to this and said, cover 3 is unrunnable. I'm not really sure why. I'll take a look more into it in a second. I can't block my tight end now. Gameplay team really doing a great job this year. Good luck this weekend, all. Shit emoji. And the reason he said good luck this weekend is because, as you guys know, the ladders for the Thanksgiving MCS tournament continue this weekend. So if this patch is not changed at all, there's going to be a lot of problems in the competitive scene trying to play on this patch this weekend in ladders. Another funny tweet interaction right here. We got Ragusa, who is another streamer who made a very sarcastic post on Twitter basically saying how impressed he is with this patch. I don't think anybody was impressed. Everybody was pretty much hating on it. And Salty, who's a pro player, replied and said, I haven't finished a game in 5 out of the 5 games I played. It keeps crashing. So that was another thing that was going on today, is after the patch was released, the game was just crashing over and over and over again. People were getting kicked out multiple times within 10-minute spans. Games couldn't be finished. And basically, the game was unplayable today. So again, if they don't fix this, ladders, especially this weekend for the MCS event, are going to be very, very struggling. It's gonna be a struggle out there for a lot of these players. Here's another funny tweet. Clint, who is the head developer of Madden, after every patch, knowing damn well all he did was make the game worse. Great success. Here's another funny tweet right here from CJ Sauce, who said, Madden community when the patch notes come out versus when the patch drops. Again, that was literally my face when I was reading the patch notes earlier. And then as you can see, the house is burning around him. Things are not good right now. After this patch, things are in shambles. Now for some positive here. I do want to show you guys some tweets from Mole. I think that's how you say his name. I don't think it's Moley or Mole. I think it's Mole. Moley Wanko. I think it's Mole, okay? He is a quality designer at EA. He's been tweeting out some few things about the patch today. The first one he did, which is probably the most important right here, is the title update goes live today. Some changes were made to contains and QB dropbacks. This is probably the second biggest thing they did in the patch besides the pass coverage stuff. Here's a video I made showing you guys a quick comparison, pre and post update. Should give you an idea of some of the behavior you see. So to start, I'll get in the video right here. This is before the patch today. This is, as you can see, on the defensive side of the ball, 2 contains. Josh Allen's going to drop back. Then he's going to try to roll out. He's able to run around the contain, cut back inside, blah, 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 blah. Now we get into today after the patch, and we're going to see how it looks a little bit different. To start, the contains shed earlier, and then as Josh Allen rolls out, it looks like they maybe take better angles. But as you can see, it's a little bit different, and these are the notes I already addressed there. But the contains, not a bad thing. It looks like it's good. I have seen some other people say the contains don't seem to be any different at all. So again, that might just be a thing you got to get on and try for yourself. So overall, as you guys can tell, the patch, even though it sounded really good on paper, is not a good thing at all right now. And even though they fixed the things that were problems, it opened a new can of worms and it introduced a whole new host of problems to the game, such as your players freezing, your screen freezing, the game crashing, players freezing on the screen, not being able to make certain adjustments. It's just, the game seems to be very, very broken right now. And so I'm hoping at least by the weekend they figure it out. I don't know if it's really going to be playable in the next couple days. But again, hopefully by the weekend they figure it out, especially for those guys who are going to be playing in the MCS tournament. I would hate for them to have to play in that stressful environment as it is already, on top of all the problems they added to the game. But let me know in the comments what you guys think of the patch. If you have a differing opinion and you actually think it's a positive, or if you've noticed some other bugs in there that I didn't touch on. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll be seeing you guys very soon.